Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to be doing another Halloween card using the My Favorite Things stamp set called Which Way is the Candy and the Simon Says stamp set called Creepy Cute. I started with a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to be stamping the pumpkins from the Which Way is the Candy stamp set using Versamark ink. Before I started stamping, I went over this paper very well with my powder tool so that I don't have any issues when I start embossing. I have a pumpkin stamp on one side of my block and I have another pumpkin stamp on the opposite side of the block so that I can switch between the two really easily. Once I filled up the paper with those images, I embossed them using a white embossing powder. Next, I took the small star image from the Creepy Cute stamp set and I stamped it in between my pumpkins to fill up some of that empty space. I embossed those stars using a clear embossing powder. So because I used clear embossing powder, these stars are going to be really subtle. Is it just me, or does anybody else really like to emboss in clear and watch as the white powder disappears when you melt it? Is it weird that I find that really enjoyable? Anyways, once all of the embossing was done, I colored in the pumpkins using my Prismacolor pencils. I'm doing a negative coloring technique on these pumpkins. I'm not sure if that was a technique already or if I just made it up, but let me tell you what it is. So for all of the areas that I want shaded, I'm actually using my white pencil. And then all of the areas that I wanted highlighted, I'm going to use my black pencil. My inspiration for doing this comes from film photography. In film photography, you have your film strips, which are your negatives of your images. So on your negative, all of your lights and darks of your image are inversed because when you actually go to develop your image, it inverses them back. So yeah, that was the inspiration for the coloring here. The first thing that I did was I colored them all white, and then I added even more white to my shaded areas, and then I came in with my blender pencil and I blended it out. Next, I came in with my black pencil and I used that to add highlights and to really define the lines of the embossing. I thought that the white embossing got a little bit lost when I colored my pumpkins in white, so I took my black pencil and I just went along those lines a little bit to bring them back out. I was really happy with the way this coloring turned out. I thought it really worked well with the Halloween theme. For my sentiment, I took the stamp that says Boo, and this stamp comes from the Creepy Cute stamp set, and I used my Misty tool to stamp it onto some white cardstock with some Simon Says Stamp Intense black ink. I used my ATG gun to adhere that sentiment strip onto a piece of vellum, and then I used my tonic trimmer to cut that vellum down, leaving just a little bit of a border around the sentiment piece. Next, I used some foam tape to adhere my pumpkin panel onto a piece of Gina K cardstock in the color Tangerine Twist. I then used my ATG gun to adhere that whole panel onto a card base. My pumpkin panel is cut to be slightly smaller than the Tangerine Twist cardstock, and that Tangerine Twist cardstock is cut to be slightly smaller than my A2 size card base. I used some foam tape to pop up my sentiment at the top of my card. For the finishing touches on this card, I took a whole bunch of purple half pearls and I put them all over the background, filling in some of the empty space in between the pumpkins. I glued those down using my Gina K Connect glue and my Silhouette Pick-Me-Up tool. I've been using this Gina K Connect glue for a little while now, and I have to say that I really like it. It's really easy to use, it seems pretty strong, and it dries clear. I would definitely recommend it. The last thing that I did to finish up this card is I took my Wink of Stella glitter brush and I went over the letters on the sentiment. And here's a closer look at the finished card. Thank you for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed this Halloween card using a negative coloring technique. All of the supplies that I used today can be found in the description down below. If you enjoyed watching and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would encourage you to hit that button so that you can see all of my future videos. I'm going to be back with a new video on Monday. Again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a good weekend.